the story afterward. I have great broken arm stories. I'm not going to tell it now, but have you heard it before?
No, but
Oh,
why
it's
don't you tell
so
it
good.
now?
It's so good. It's one of my favorite stories. It's such a
I
good
can
one.
have a live story.
I
Like,
can tell it
no.
now if you want.
Yeah.
It's super funny. Okay. Actually, your voice audio level didn't change much. Um, Alright, so I'm just going to start clicking through this quest so we can continue on. It's a mini long story, but it's pretty entertaining. So, I was 13 years old, a young Blade Bow Quest at the time. Some might even call me a pocket knife, as I like to say. And I love to do climbing walls. I was so excited about it. Like all of these guys here, you can see other frozen statues. I like climbing way more than all of these dead people. Basically, we were going to do this overnight church camp where we just stay up all night. It's going to be great. It was like a lock-in. And maybe 60 of us were going to do it, all these kids. Let's see, I think we have to wander outside. And I was so excited because they have an indoor climbing wall in this church that they were going to open up at 5 in the morning. And I was stoked. I was looking forward to this for weeks. Like, every day, I was just talking to my friends about this. I was like, yes, climbing wall so soon. This is going to be great. Tasty, welcome to the stream. And at the very last part of the day, Friday, right before this actually happened, the day that we were going to go and do this lock-in, the school bell rings and it's the end of classes. So at this point, I am so ready to get out of there. I want to run to the bus. I want to run back home, get driven over to this lock-in, and just have the time of my life, stay up all night, and then do this climbing wall. So while I was running up the stairs and skipped like 6 stairs. But I was also 13, and my legs couldn't really do that. So I fell up the stairs. Completely fell. Did like a full-on cartoon slip. My feet just slid out from under me. I caught myself on my left arm. And it was just shooting pain. It was so bad. I jumped up immediately. My arm went totally numb. Couldn't move it. And I've
You
never
need
felt anything
vigor.
like this. It was just so painful. Like I was shot, it just... You guys have ever broken a bone? That hurts. And I was running in full speed and caught myself with one arm, and it snapped. It wasn't like... Didn't look like it. It wasn't compound. The bone wasn't sticking out or anything, but it was broken.
Cabbage,
And
why?
there's only a problem. There's only one problem with this. It's me. So I was like, it's probably fine.
Of course.
Exactly. So I go to my locker and I'm like, I can't move my left arm now, but that won't affect me later. I'm like, I'm just gonna go ahead, get my backpack. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go down to the bus, and I can't really move my arm. But should we go down here? I guess we probably should, right? Sure. So I go to the bus station, and I have like my right hand over my left hand, and it's just so much pain. I haven't told anybody about this, and I'm like, oh, maybe the heat from my right hand will improve the healing. It probably will. I'm like, I got a good 8 hours until I have to climb the climbing wall. I'll be fine. No problems. So I'm sitting on the bus, like hovering one arm over the other one. I'm just like focusing on it. I'm like, mend, heal, get better. It'll be fine. At this point, I didn't for sure know I broke my arm. I kind of thought, but I've never broken a bone seriously before. So we make it home. Don't tell anything to my mom. Didn't even, think about it. Of course, kept my right hand over my left hand. I was like, heal. Just trying to do nonsense, focusing my energy. I was like, I can do this. And didn't do anything. But as we got to the lock-in, I had a really great time. We stayed up all night. I spent a lot of time just kind of sitting and like focusing on my arm. And it finally got to, I guess it was either 3 or 5 in the morning. I can't remember exactly when. But they opened the climbing wall. And even though I was now crippled, I was still just as excited. I was so excited. And everybody knew I was waiting for this. And they didn't know that I had this injury. So I go and I wait in line. And let's see, which way should we? I guess we'll go this way. I go and I wait in line, and a bunch of other people get on the climbing wall in front of me. There's this little kid, his name's Jimmy. He was my age, and he made it up like 5 feet on this climbing wall, and it was a 50-foot wall. It was pretty big. And he got stuck 5 feet in the air, and people were like, "Come on, little Jimmy! Come on, there's a knee hold by your left leg. You got it. Go ahead." Everyone's cheering him on and stuff, and They're just being really encouraging. There are a bunch of kids trying to climb this wall, and everybody's scared. Finally, it's my turn. It's great. So I go up, I get in my harness, I'm all set up. We have to do these commands like belay on, or something. Like climb away. And so they give me the signal to climb away. Grizzly Ben, dude, thank you for the host, man. I appreciate it. Telling the story how I broke my arm when I was 13 and didn't care and still tried to climb a climbing wall. So now I'm strapped into this wall. I'm in my harness, they're telling me to climb. And I'm sitting there, and I've got my arms up, if you can see the stream. And I'm just, my feet are on the ground, and I'm like shifting holds, because I'm like, as soon as I try to pull, I cannot do it. I can't pull, because my arm is broken, right? And I'm like, maybe it'll work. And my feet are still on the ground, but you just see me. No. And I didn't care about everybody behind me. It was just me and the climbing wall. I had to get up this thing, right? I couldn't care less about all this. I must have been on that wall for 10 minutes, not even hearing all of the people saying all sorts of random stuff. But they were like trying to be really encouraging, like, come on, little Blade. There's a foothold right there, and you can make it. Don't be scared, because like I'm just trying to like grab this wall, and I'm just standing there. That's the dumbest thing. I'm just standing there like batting this wall, reaching for different handholds. Must have looked like the most ridiculous thing in the world. And after 10-15 minutes, I finally turn around. I was like, no guys, I broke my arm today, but I didn't think anything would happen. I thought it was fine. So I can't climb the wall. My arm is broken. And they like took a look. They're like, oh god. And I'm like, so what? I'll go by tomorrow, or So they took me off this wall, and I couldn't climb. I was so upset. I later, by the way, JoJo, learned how to climb a wall one-handed, just in case this ever happened again. I used to do it in college. It was super fun. I did all these things. It was great. So I was like, if I ever break my arm, I still want to do climbing walls. So yeah, I practiced doing one-handed climbs. I got pretty good, but at 13, I couldn't do it. And I still had a good rest of the camp. But then the next day, I still just didn't think it was that big of a deal. So I didn't tell my parents for a week. This was the wrong decision.
Yeah.
My parents kind of freaked out. They're like, what are you doing? You've got to, like, this set's wrong. This will be a nightmare. You can't do this. I was like, I honestly thought it would be fine by a week. I'm like, it wasn't fine by the day. It wasn't fine the next day. But I'm like, after 5 or 6 days, this really, really hurts my mom and parents. I'm like, this hurts. I need some help. So,
it's not a paper cut.
So they were not very happy with my decision making at that point. I went in. They were like, "Yeah, your bone is broken in half. If you waited another week, it would have healed completely wrong. We would have had to break it again." I was like, "Oh, jeez, once is fine." And so they put the arm in a cast, and I had a cast for a while. So that's basically the story. But there's one more part which is pretty funny. So I couldn't move it in my cast, right? And because I couldn't move it, Kawaii Karo, welcome to the stream. Be sure to follow Jojo Rar, who I'm co-streaming with also. We're going to multi-twitch here in my channel in a minute. So I couldn't move it in the cast. So I didn't realize it was still broken. I was like, it's probably fine now. It's been 2 weeks. How long does this take? I've been focusing on it. I've been trying to heal it with my right hand, because that can happen. Yeah, I didn't tell him for a week, Enigmas. Blade live. I must be dreaming. Why Spartacus? Hey, dude. I'm live, buddy. So here's where it gets crazy. I go back to the doctor after like 2 weeks, and I'm like, doctor, I'm pretty sure I'm healed. It takes months. It doesn't happen in 2 weeks. You don't heal a broken bone that fast. Nobody does. So what he said was, he started laughing. He was like, no one in the world heals that fast. That was his answer. Now, to me, that meant, I am the fastest healer in the world. That's what I took that to mean. Oh, yeah, it was crazy. So I go to school, and I tell people that the doctor said I'm the fastest healer in the world. And this lasted like 2 or 3 days until one of my smart friends started prying into what exactly was said. And I was like, oh, he said, nobody heals that fast. He's like, yeah, he said no one heals that fast. He didn't say you are healed. I'm like, no, I can feel it, I can feel it. He's like, no, you are not the fastest healer in the world. So he finally convinced me, and like 2 months later, I got my cast off, and I was actually healed. But yeah, that's my broken arm story, Jojo. You got to hear it real time, even faster than live.
That's brilliant.
Thanks.
It's such a typical Blade story.
It is kind of. Oh god. Grizzly, how are you doing, man? Thanks. Both Grizzlies. We got Grizzly Gaming and Grizzly Ben.
Hi,
Grizzly Ben,
Bernard.
thanks for the host, man.
Thank you, Shy Shy.
Oh, we got Shy Shy here. We got the
Oh, yes.
waffles.
We got waffles.
We got the waffles. That's the Japanese
Now-
word for wife said wrong, everyone. Actually, how? No. It's the English word for
Wifey.
wife, which is wife. Said is a Japanese way, which is wafu, and then said wrong.
Wifey.
Waifu. Shy, hello. The story goes great along with the Sand Dude's story. No, it doesn't. I only kill myself one time, or almost only kill... never mind. It's been like a dozen. Brox, I can't just tell stories all stream. I won't get to hear the lovely Jojo Rar in her British accent. Maybe I'll tell one at the end of the story, or end of the stream. It's a good day, friend.
Never get too many Blade stories.
He's got gold in his pocket. You know what else he has in that pocket? Oh yeah, he's got some crisps. You know it.
I quite fancy a pocket of crisps.
Oh, that's great.
Apparently that's what we all say over here in the UK, everybody.
Yep. I fancy myself a pocket of crisps. Well.
Oh, try saying quality again.
Yeah. Okay. Quality.
Okay, getting there, yeah. We've got the T right.
Quality. Quality.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Quality. Oh, man.
You still sound like one of the